Euthanasia, an ethical, social, and legal debate. Euthanasia, understood as a medical intervention that seeks to intentionally cause the death of a person in order to alleviate their suffering, is a topic that sparks intense debate in the ethical, social, and legal fields. Below, we explore some arguments for and against this practice, seeking to shed light on its implications. One of the main arguments in favor of euthanasia is its ability to alleviate the intolerable suffering of patients with terminal or chronic illnesses. In many cases, palliative care fails to mitigate the physical and emotional pain faced by these people, so euthanasia can be perceived as an act of compassion and dignity. Proponents of euthanasia maintain that every individual has the right to decide about his or her own life and body. This principle supports the idea that people should be able to opt for euthanasia if they consider that their quality of life is unsustainable. For many, the ability to choose when and how to die can mean preserving dignity in a situation where illness has left them unable to lead a full life. In a practical context, allowing euthanasia may free up medical resources that could be allocated to patients with a better chance of recovery or quality of life, although this argument is controversial from an ethical point of view. Opponents of euthanasia often argue that human life has an intrinsic value that must be respected, regardless of the circumstances. According to this view, ending a life, even with consent, contradicts fundamental ethical principles. There are fears that legalizing euthanasia could lead to abuses, such as putting pressure on vulnerable people, the elderly, disabled, or sick, to opt for this practice due to economic, social, or family factors. For some, allowing doctors to engage in euthanasia could undermine trust between patients and doctors by associating health professionals with decisions that end life rather than preserve it. Advances in palliative care offer increasingly effective ways to relieve pain and improve the quality of life of terminally ill patients. This raises the question of whether euthanasia is really necessary when other options exist to deal with suffering. Euthanasia poses deeply human dilemmas, where ethical, religious, legal, and emotional considerations intertwine. In some countries, such as the Netherlands, Belgium, and Canada, its practice is legal and regulated, while in others it remains illegal and considered morally unacceptable. Reaching consensus on euthanasia requires an inclusive debate, where all voices are heard and where respect for human dignity and the protection of the most vulnerable are prioritized. The question has no simple answers, but it does invite reflection on the meaning of life, suffering, and freedom of choice in a context of mutual respect. See you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe so I can keep uploading content.